Oh man. Hello, hello, hello. Hey guys, what is up? This is Livy Igwe coming live from London. If you guys are watching me on the replay, drop me a hashtag style. Y'all know the drill. I help the multicultural, multi-ethnic to brand on social media and to earn at the same time. So if you're looking to earn, absolutely hashtag hybrid. This is only water because I just spilt water because I like shake the bottle and then just water went everywhere because Olivia here is clumsy as ever. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey guys. Oh, how are you? I haven't seen you in such a long time. Hey Mickey, how are you, my girlfriend? Where are your lives? I want to know where are your lives. Today we're going to be talking about the misconceptions on I put on sales, but it goes with branding because they go all hand in hand together. Tell me where you guys are tuning on. Hey Sunly, hey God bless PG, Sasha, Kiara, Dominique. Wow, Dominique, ça fait longtemps que je t'ai pas like envoyé un message. Joe. Hey Farina, how are you guys? Okay, so I want to talk today about something that I was inspired by talking. If you guys see this, it's just because I was shaking my bottle and then I realized like I put water all over me. Welcome to the life. Welcome to the clumsy world. This is Olivia's show and it will always just continue. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the misconceptions on the sales and branding issues that I think people really tend to have. And us as women, we tend to have too. If you guys feel that you guys also have this misconception on branding and sales, like do tell me which one is like the aha moment where you're like, oh, I got it. Like drop a heart if it's like, actually no, drop like an emoji, like an explosive emoji if it's like, I got it, right? So we're gonna go over 4 things. Misconception on sales and branding. What is it? Branding and sales go hand in hand together. Basically, it just means who am I showing up as and who am I, right? And you blend it in together, right? You will not have me talk about, for example, dogs or cats because I'm actually allergic to animals, okay? But I much prefer a dog than I much prefer a cat. Sorry guys for the ones that are watching, but like for me, just dogs just seem to inspire me most, but I can't because I can't talk about it because like I'm allergic, okay? But I will talk about, for example, my nephew and my niece because, like, I'm an aunt, right? I will talk to you about abortion because I've been through it. I will talk to you about branding. I will talk to you in Italian because I speak Italian. I've traveled around 12 times. So I will talk about things that will make sense to me, okay? So that's what branding is. Now, branding is then connected to sales. So sales is what can you convert? Now, when we say sales, it's how can people buy from what you have to offer to this world, okay? And I really do believe misconception sometimes is just misunderstood, because if you really understood the basis of, how could I talk about something and getting paid, that it would be energy, right? So let's go over the 4 and then I will tell you, we'll go deep into it. Number 1, not fun, right? It's not fun, it's unstable, it's negative, right? And then it's personal, which I really like this last 4th one. So you may want to stay on this last one because this one is the really most exciting one, because I know that it's something that I also have been through and I also have to like overcome it. And I think this will resonate. Number 1, it's not fun. Like sales is not fun. Have you guys ever had somebody tells you like, I'm in sales? And you're like, automatically, that's boring. That sounds really boring. But when you look at it, sales is actually really exciting because we have this image of like somebody knocking at doors and saying, hey, buy my product. Or hey, buy my thing. Sorry, Insta, because you guys are moving, right? Or hey, get this, right? Like, hey, just get this, buy this. Like you're in the person's face, right? Which is not that. Sales is supposed to be fun, right? I get really excited when I talk to new people because I'm like, wait, we're 8 billion people on the planet. Who can I talk to? It's a transfer of energy. Some of you guys have never known me. For example, Farina, that's in the business with me. She didn't really know me 4 years ago or 3 years, maybe 3+ years. I don't know how long we've been. Maybe it's 2 years, 3 years. Anyways, right? She doesn't know my past, but yet she's still excited by the fact that, oh, okay, she's got energy. I want to know what she has. I had a girlfriend, Makita, if you guys know, I always talk about the chakra drink. The one that helps with like better energy, the focus, the concentration. You feel that you had a bowl of pasta, you need something that picks you up. This is what's going to pick you up. You feel that you're tired. You feel that, you don't have energy. This will pick you up literally. Anyways, long story short, I was talking to her about it and she's like, you know what? I actually already researched the product before you even talked about it. I had checked your website. I had checked what it was, what's in the ingredient. And she actually ordered the product without knowing what it was. But because the way I was talking, the way I was online, the way I was like explaining everything, it was like, oh My days. I want to know what you have. I want to know what's in it. And so she bought it because she bought it through my energy. That's why you think that sales is not fun. It's supposed to be fun. You can recreate it. It doesn't have to be something that's boring, because you know what? You're going to attract the people that you want in your business, right? But in the same time, you got to do things that get you out of your zone, out of your comfort zone. And that's why sales is also connected to skills. Branding means that you're going to have to develop a little bit more within you on branding, on skills, on learning how to talk, on learning, what are your colors, right? So if you guys see my profile, it's always an orange. I didn't want to make it red because I didn't want to make it too aggressive, nor did I want to make it yellow because I just didn't want it to be like too soft. I wanted it to be a blend of together, where it's like when you bite an orange, like you can even imagine, like in your mind, this is what sales is. I'm telling you a story. Can you imagine the last time you bought, like you munched into an orange? Like the taste of the orange felt so juicy. You can even feel the juiciness of the orange that you're having in Italy, and it's so warm and the sun is like burning, but you're taking that bite of orange and it feels so good that it's salivating like in your throat. That's what sales is. I'm taking you from one side of what it makes you feel to also understanding the problem, right? So when people say, yeah, it's not fun, it has to be fun for you, right? If not, your business does not have any life. It has no breath. It has no heartbeat. And so by being in sales, that's what is going to bring the heartbeat. When's the last time that you bought, I don't know, maybe my drink, or maybe you bought like a dress, or maybe you bought like a jumper, or maybe you bought a water bottle? Have you been so excited about the water bottle? You're like, oh my days, I'm so excited, right? I got so excited about this water bottle. You want to know why this water bottle is so special to me? Is because when the person that recruited me in the business, he's not in the business anymore, right? But he said, I'm going to offer you this because you can't. It was a time a couple of years ago when we had our business, the first business opportunity, the business academy, which was basically just, you hit a certain rank within the business, and then you're able to go to the subsidiary and they just share a bit of the company, whatever. Hey, Clara, right? And the reason why I'm probably explaining it really badly, but I still remember when he gave me this water bottle. And this is what sales and branding is. He gave me this water bottle, but I knew deep down inside of him he wasn't going to continue the business. He wasn't going to continue promoting. He wasn't going to continue recruiting, even if he recruited me. So he left me, right? Well, it's a sales force, right? Like people always leave. That's why I always say don't fall in love with potential with people. How are you, my love, Clara? I saw you're somewhere on holiday. Where are you? But he gave me this, and so every time I drink from this, it just reminds me of when he talked to me about the business that opened so many different doors, to a hunger that I didn't think I had, a purpose that I didn't think I had. And so that's what sales is. It's a memory of something that will remind you of something that is connected emotionally. So that's why sales is not, it's like not supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. Sales is like even negotiating I don't know, a date with a guy. Women, we're so good at this. Like we negotiate our way through. I want this. No, I want this. No, I want this. No, I want this. Right? Like if you're gonna go out with someone, you're gonna have to negotiate, right? You're in Greece, Crete. Okay. Well, bring some sun, please, because it's winding here. It's so windy. Did you go to the same place as you are in Crete, or are you somewhere else? I need to go to Greece and Crete. That's another thing on my list, right? So out of those misconceptions of the sales and branding, number one, it's not fun. It is fun. You got to make it fun. Okay. I know the basic of it is boring. Like, talking about problem, bringing in a problem and awareness and then having the solution, the person's not ready, etc. Okay. I get it. Right. First time. Okay. First time in Greece, right? Because you said you were in Crete. No, you were in Cyprus. Right. I think that's the last time you said, right. Number two, unstable career. Well, it's unstable. People like tend to poo-poo on this industry, on sales, network marketing, direct sales, doesn't matter. But because like it is required a time and force of working on it, right? So there is a lot of skills that you need to get better at. Yes, it is a numbers game, but at the same time, it's not also a numbers game. It's also understanding how you proceed, who you talk to, what is in it, right? And so it's based on sales is based on the fact, and branding, same thing, is the base that you have to repeat the same thing all the time, all the time, all the time. That's why a lot of people tend to leave the industry or not do it because you don't have tough skin. And I'm not saying that people that do 9 to 5, you guys don't have a job. It's the same thing. It's just there's a different game to it. And when you are in sales, and I know, for example, as the team will be growing, as the team and I start, having other businesses, I'm also going to have to work to also provide for those businesses too. So there's like another effect of it. Yes, right. Um, but it is a place where you can grow. Thanks, love. They're so long. I have to get an infill, but that's another subject for another time. But I could go deep on this one, but I don't want to make it too complicated for you guys to be like, oh, wow, that's a lot. So I just want to bring the misconceptions of the sales and the branding. Not fun, unsustainable. You're going to do a little for a lot. You're going to do a lot for a little, and then a little, then for a lot. But also sales, if you have to think of it, we do it every single day. The only reason why it's not sometimes working for you guys is simply because it's your mindset, right? Like, oh, I can't do it, or I'm not worth it. And there's so much procrastination into like, oh, I don't think I can do it. That's why you need to do things in bite size and small little sizes. We always say you can't eat an elephant full. How'd you eat it? In small bits, right? You weren't able to do 50 kilos deadlifts. You started with 5 on each side. Clara can talk about it. She's in the gym. She works at the gym. She started with like small little weights. Then she added big weights. Then she added medium ones. And then she added much bigger. And then she gets better at her craft every single day. The sales is the same thing all the time. The sales and the branding, the sales when you show up, the sales when you negotiate. But the last thing that I want to talk about, oh no, I talked about this one, the negative part. Everybody says no to me. I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago, and she was in another network marketing business. I'm like, you have such a great right, yeah, agreed. You have such a great gift. You're absolutely stunning. Why are you not promoting like the network? She's in the network marketing game, but it doesn't matter, any kind of sales, I always like to know. And she was like, I every time I talk to people, it was always negative. And I'm like, well, my love, I think that stems to your belief. And it also depends who you're talking to. If you're talking to the next door neighbor and the person that sees you all the time, or your dad or your mom, or, the dog, or that sees you every single day, then of course you're going to get negativity because they don't see you as this new person that has evolved because they've seen your past before. And so they're judging you on who you were. That's why I always say, goal, yes, to build on social media is great, but at the same time, who are the people that bought from you? Clara can probably talk about is probably strangers, right? Or Dominique or Jonathan or Sasha. Like, your clients came from online. They didn't come from the person that you know, right? I still remember when I met up with Kevin. He was on social, and he does digital, but he also works as a stockman. He bought the drink because he did work out. But let me tell you this: he didn't buy for at least 6 months, 7 months the drink. Why am I saying this? He bought it because I kept on talking about it all the time. And then at some point he picked up and said, oh my goodness, this is how men work. Like, sometimes I love you guys, men, but sometimes, no offense, but you guys don't have much in your brains. Us as women tend to have, but you don't, because I have 2 cases of this one. And then he says, oh my goodness, it's replaced my coffee. And now I just keep, it helps me with my focus and my concentration. Let me give you this. Tony, if you're watching on a replay, I am so sorry, but I'm going to frame you at this point because this is just ridiculous. So the guy says his coffee machine is broken. And he says, the other day, he messaged me in my messages. He said, the drink really works. My coffee machine broke, and so I've been doing 40 hours nonstop, and thanks to the drink that it's been working. And I'm like, I've talked to you about it for the last 3 years, but the 3 years right now you're just not wanting to listen, so your coffee machine has to be broken for you to take the drink. I don't get it, but that's fine. Men, they're on another planet, right? But how did that shift? It's because sometimes when you're so focused on the lens, that's the only thing you see, right? But if you took the lens and you put it on somebody else, you're like, I see. Why is it women, we can talk about this. Why is it that when you talk to men and you say the same thing all the time for like 5 years, and some other person on the planet comes in, or another girl says something, or I don't know, the mother says something, automatically that's an awesome idea. My mother said this and I think it's great. I talked to you about it 5 years ago and you didn't want to do it. But now you want to do it because you heard your mother, or you heard the next door neighbor, or you heard something else. That's what sales is and branding. And I know it sounds like, oh yeah, but I don't get it's the long term, guys. But also in that, sales, the misconception of sales is that you guys see somebody crushing it, automatically you think you're going to crush it. Everybody has a time stamp on when your breakthrough is going to happen. Everybody has a time frame when it's going to work, which is the compounding effect. You're not going to see the results straight away, but you'll see the result when it will come at some point, because you're crushing on it, on it, on it, on it. Not the case, right? It's always crushing. I was talking the other day to Craig, and Craig is losing weight, and his husband is like fine. You know, when you have somebody that looks like absolutely fine, and you have the other person that looks a little bit like chubby, chubby. Anyways, he decided to take on the weight loss journey and to lose weight, and he hasn't seen some results yet in his weight loss journey. And his personal trainer, we were talking about this, is you're not going to see the results straight away, but the only thing is that sales and branding is going to hold you accountable for repeating the same thing all the time, all the time. Clara, I know her because she works out and she also travels. I know her for those things. And she always talks about it because on her stories it's the same thing all the time, all the time, all the time. Liga, I could talk about her business in terms of she does gardening, that she's like a Lara Croft. Have you ever met Lara Croft? Well, not really, but like if you did meet like Angelina Jolie in real life, like Lara Croft, that's the same. Like that's how Liga is. She has kids, but she's like a badass woman and a mom. But she also, you know her as the mom, but you also know her as the gardener because she loves gardening and she also loves dance. I know her for that. She repeats it all the time on her stories. It's all the time. It's the same thing. I would hope by what I share on my stories, like you guys would see, I always talk about confidence. I always talk about branding. I always talk about the supplements. I always talk about network marketing. I always talk about my nephew. Soon I'll talk about my niece. I always talk about just things that excite me, which is traveling and just getting better and learning. I'd hope that you guys would see the same thing about me, right? Because I'm repeating the same all the time, all the time. You won't have me talk about things that I cannot talk. I saw this quote in the stories of we've got to stop this miseducation of people thinking that they know everything. I will say honestly, I can't talk to you about animals because I don't have any. I don't have any animals. Clara probably can't talk 'cause she doesn't have animals, but she can talk about gym clothes, right? Liga could talk about kids because she has 4 kids. I can't talk about kids. I don't have. Clara can talk about like grandkids. I can't talk about it because I'm not grandkid. I don't have grandchildren. I don't even have children to start off with, right? But you can only talk about the limit. And I will honestly say that sometimes I don't have all the answers within. I'll be honest and say I can't talk because I don't have it, right? And then last thing I will leave you with this is the personal detachment, the misconception of sales and branding is that it's so personal that you want everything for people to like you want everything to work. So let me tell you this, right? Some people sometimes have like a hard time in like selling the products and stuff, and I'm like, because you're making it so personal. We can sell I could sell you, okay, sorry, this is kind of disgusting because but I could sell you these slippers of like Mickey Mouse, right? You can go and get them. You want to know where you got them? I got them at Tesco's. They're the best freaking flops because I love them, right? I love Mickey Mouse. Now, how was I able to sell you these? I found them at super cheap price. I think they were like £5. I got them at Tesco card, and I think no, they were at £5, but I got them. They were initially at 10, and since I have the club card, the Tesco club card, I got them at 5. Right? Okay, Mickey Mouse, cool, right? Because this, if you buy or not, it does not matter. I'm not attached to the sale. Whereas if I talk to you about the drink and you say me no, and you told me 3 times already no, and I ask you a second time, 4th time, do you want the drink or not? It's going to help with the better energy, focus, concentration. Or even if you just tell me no once, right, and you don't want to get the drink, This is attached to what I believe. But this is also attached to a sale. And so we make it so personal that this becomes like so personal. Whereas if you understood the mathematic of sales, is that I detach myself from this, bearing in mind that if you buy it from this, great, but I can still be friends. And sometimes we misconceive the fact that we have to, like, this is the brand, like that I sell the supplements, and that people think that we have to only be friends only if I buy. If you don't buy from me from this, that's fine. We can still be friends, right? You got to understand it doesn't hurt my feelings if you do not buy from me, because there's 8 million people on the planet. But because in sales and branding, we're like, oh, anybody that talks to me has to buy this. No, like, it's fine. We can still be friends regardless. But since in your mindset, since it's attached to, and then that's why I always say it's a hard game, because it shouldn't be attached to a I don't want, a friendship to be in between a sale. But if it can be, great, like, because we can grow, etc. But if it doesn't, it does not matter. And that's why I think sales sometimes has this bad rep, because you're like, if you don't buy this drink from me, then automatically there's like everything included, which shouldn't be. Some of you guys have probably bought from me. Some of you guys probably never buy from me, which is absolutely fine. But sometimes we make it so attached to this or the in between. That's why, for example, two different things. The Mickey Mouse doesn't really matter, because you're like, if you buy or don't, it doesn't really matter for me. But if you buy from this, automatically it's connected to me. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. But I really wanted to break down. That's why you always have to detach yourself from the outcome, right? A no is not because, and you guys know this, I always talk about this. When somebody says no to your business, it's like somebody coming to you, when you go to the restaurant and you had, I don't know, calamari fritti, and you had pasta vongole, and it was really yummy. And the guy comes up to me, but you got no more space. The food was so yummy. It was so good. There's no space. And the guy says, would you like a coffee? Voy un café. And you're like, no. Or you say, you want a dessert, like, voy un dolce. And you're like, no, non c'è spazio. I don't have any space. I can't have it anymore. Do you think the waiter's going to be like, how dare you? I offered you a coffee. I offered you a dolce. You don't want it no more. No, the guy's going to go to the next person. Okay, you don't want it. That's fine. Can we just have the bill? Perfect. I'll bring the bill. Boom. That's it. I'm going to go to the next person. That's why we have a misconception on this, and you got to, guys, detach yourself from it, because sometimes you're so into it that you only see, your blindfold. You only see just this. So I want you guys to remove yourself, and as you're a business, just like Nike, just like Fitline, just like Tesco's, just like Samsung, not everybody's going to buy from you straight away, but they will at some point, or they may recommend you to somebody else. But the branding comes, and that's why I think it's so important. You have to show up every single day. You have to talk about your business every single day. I will talk about my products every single day. I will talk about my drinks every single day. I will talk about the network marketing business every single day. But I will also add different things, like in my stories. You guys can see I posted a picture of, like, this is when you see, like, I have my nephew and a niece now, right? So every time I like listen to my nephew, I'm like, he's so special, because that's just what it is, right? I will blend it with different things. Sales is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be something. And somebody messaged me also today, because she was like, oh yeah, I'm interested in having an extra income, but I also want to make it fun. And I'm like, yeah, girl, who wants to have like a business that's not fun? You want something where you can have fun. Like, yes, we learn at the same time, but it's not like, you've got to do this. You've got to do this. No, like, let's make it fun and have fun together. So guys, hopefully this resonates. I just wanted to jump on quickly. I was going to go and eat, but we're not eating because we're fasting for another 5-6 hours, and then I'm going to go and head to bed, but we'll eat tomorrow. This is also a great way, if you guys don't know, for gut cleansing. It's a really good way to just like reset your body and your metabolism. So I'm only having water. I did have a bit of like chakra drink, so I'm not doing the official water that I did for like 3 days and 3 days, a couple of the last month. But yeah, this is like a real good reset. If you're looking for something that will help, absolutely, you can drop me a hashtag chakra for the drinks that will help, blend that will cleanse and all that. Absolutely. If you're looking for an extra income, if you don't know, I help the multicultural, multi-ethnic to brand on social media and to earn also at the same time. So if that is for you and you're interested, absolutely. If you know somebody, you can share that with them. In the meantime, that's it. That's pretty much it. I shall see you guys not tomorrow, but I shall see you guys maybe Sunday. I don't know. We'll figure out when I go live. But if you don't know, I'm Olivia. I help the multicultural, multi-ethnic to brand on social media. Talk to you guys later. Bye.